Welcome to Delta Renaissance. I'm your host, Sade Turnipseed, and on tonight's show, I have a young lady all the way from Memphis, Tennessee. I'm so happy she's here with me. She's an author who has written a remarkable book. I just can't wait to get into it. But this is Callantine Williams Thompson.
Yes.
And it's the first time I've ever said Callantine, so forgive me for stumbling on that. But welcome to the show, sis. I'm happy you're here.
Thank you. I'm glad to be here.
Yeah, so from Memphis, is that where you're originally from?
Yeah, well, I'm outside of Memphis. I'm out of Somerville, Tennessee. It's about 30 minutes outside of Memphis.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
Do you have any roots at all here in Mississippi that you know of?
Not that I know of. Probably because I
Everybody
have
come
a
from
huge
Mississippi.
family, but you know, we're presently doing some genealogy and all of that. You know, we're trying to trace down our roots. Yes. So you never know.
That's true. And so, but I want to hurry up and get into what you have written here. But at the beginning, I want to first establish, how did you become a writer and feel so moved to work on a book project? Because that's something that I encourage on a regular.
Oh.
You know, as a professor of history, you
Yes.
know, at Mississippi Valley State and all, and practically every guest that comes to this table, they always have something so interesting that I think is book worthy.
Yes.
And so I'm happy to hear and to see that you have written a book. And
Yes.
again, before we get into the subject matter of it, how did that process happen for you, that you just felt so moved that you needed to write?
Yeah. Well, I've always loved writing. I used to practice writing fake news stories, you know, that was, you know, in my younger years. But my daughter was killed in an auto accident in 1995.
I'm so sorry to hear that. Too.
Yes, and she was 22. She was in nursing school, and she was an honor student. And for her headstone, I wrote a poem, and it just flowed. And later that year, she was killed in July, July 12th of 95. Later that year, I was asked to write a play for our Black History program, because that's something that we do at our church. We put on plays, you know, to sort of educate our young people, you know, to let them know where we came from. And as I began to write, I mean, my feelings over the loss of my daughter, it just came through in the writing. And I just couldn't stop writing. And for about 2 or 3 days, I was just writing. And then even at work, well, I'm retired now, so
But even at work,
I was
you
at work
find time to get it done.
writing.
Yeah.
You know, and I would tear off paper towels wherever I was. I would just, something would hit me, and I would just grab whatever I could grab and just start writing.
Yeah.
And then I would get home and I would edit it, and when I finished, you know, we performed it. But my good friend and our musician at our church, you know, she, bring it over here, I'm gonna put it on, I'm gonna get on my computer and I'm gonna type it out, and we're gonna get this copyrighted because this is too good just to let it lay there. You know, so that's what we did. But we did the play. It was a big hit, and we ended up having to do the play not only at our church, but we had to perform it in Tipton County for the NAACP. And then I just let it lay out, you know. I just didn't do anything else with it. And I went to Slave Haven.
Slave Haven?
Yes, that's out in Memphis. It's like an Underground Railroad museum.
Okay.
A friend of mine and her husband, they took me out there for the very first time.
I never even heard about this place.
Yes,
It's in Memphis?
Man, It's awesome.
Really?
Man, it affected me so when I went out there.
Yeah, yeah.
Like I said, it was for the first time last year. I had already wrote that, but they
The
saw.
book, and your book
Yeah.
is about slavery as well.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and it matched up with everything during the Middle Passage. It matched up with everything they had down there during the Middle Passage. So they asked me for, a transcript of each piece, and I, sent it to them. When I went back, they had placed each piece on a part that it described in the Middle Passage. So it's a part
In the
of
museum.
the museum now.
Wow. So your book is the interpretive signage and the text for a lot of the exhibits
Yes,
that's on display.
anybody that hasn't been to Slave Haven, they need to go.
I need to go.
Yes.
Yes. I will get the information from you later, but if you can remember in the course of this interview, please tell them exactly how to get there, or the address
Well,
if you know
it's
it.
826 North 2nd Street
In Memphis.
in Memphis.
I'm going. But now, just to be clear, now, first of all, you had no formal training as a playwright or anything like that.
No.
So this became a passion. Very, I guess because it's so attached to something that's so emotional
Right.
for you, having lost a child, I can't even imagine, in
Yes.
fact, that's one of the greatest fears I think any mother will have, is
That's
losing
right.
a child. But from that experience, it evoked this passion
Yes.
for writing.
Yes.
That's amazing.
Yes. I've done a number of plays
Yeah, yeah.
at our church, but this one,
It was
it
special.
just stuck.
Yeah.
And,
And like you said, it just flowed.
yeah,
And we're going to get ready to take a break and come back, but we're going to get into this book because the book itself, it's a diary of a slave. So I want to understand how you went there,
Okay.
and whose diary are you reflecting? Again, that experience of death and
so once we get to America and the things that happen with us, I wanted to write it when I wrote it, it was like I was that slave, and I put myself in their shoes, and it's like my diary, but it's every slave. You see what I'm saying? It's every slave that left Africa and came over here. This is their diary.
wow. All right, tell us about it. What was the journey like? What was that whole experience for you? And I can't even imagine, what emotions you went through in discovering that narrative and being able to capture it and write it down. But tell us the process and what happened and the story itself.
Well, in doing the plays, because there were plays done previous to this one, and we, as a church group, we learned a lot. And a lot of us learned things that we had never heard of. So once I started writing this, I just had to put myself in their place. I mean, it affected me to the point that it brought tears to my eyes even when I was writing it.
Of course it did.
And coupled with the fact that I had lost my daughter, all of that, it just overflowed into the writing. I was in therapy once, and the doctor, my therapist, it was my vocal therapist, he asked me to bring a piece because I had been asked to come to Washington to be inducted into the National Poetic Society for Dreams.
One of the poems in here.
Yeah, Dreams, and there's one, Eyes. They were also, out there. So he told me to bring him one, and he would help me to read through it without getting hoarse. And I did. And by the time I finished with it, he was crying and I was too, And-
Now, I didn't bring any tissue to the show tonight,
Yeah,
but I sure want you to read Dreams or
but he wasn't
one of the
black.
other. He wasn't? But you know what? That's the thing because, so many Europeans and other Caucasians were also slaves.
Right.
Slavery is not just,
And the
peculiar to
abolitionists, they
African
were the ones that
Americans.
helped us.
And the abolitionists, many
Yeah.
were white, but I'm saying the term itself, slave, evolves from Slavic, which evolves from Northern European.
Yes.
But I'm just saying, slavery is just something that's universal and ain't peculiar to
Exactly.
African people at
Exactly.
all. But that's just what we know,
Yes.
as it relates to America. But, hey, no, I don't consider myself a slave. I don't think that our people are slaves, but we
No.
were enslaved
We were enslaved.
during a period of time to build this country. So
That's right, that's
But
right.
yes, of course, he can relate to it as any. I think all of the human family can relate to
Yes.
that narrative. Now, again, I want to hear some of these pieces.
Okay.
Is there a particular one that really resonates with you? And I don't, if you want to read Dreams, that's fine. But like I said, I didn't bring any tissue today.
Okay, so my daughter, she loves Dreams. I think that's her favorite. My favorite is Cotton Fields.
Uh-oh. Me too. I want to hear that one.
Oh, my
I got
goodness.
this thing about cotton. Everybody know me know I got this thing about
Okay,
cotton.
I need my eyeglasses.
Oh. Well, we'll do it for the second segment then.
Okay.
When we come back from break, we'll do that. But
Okay.
So again, tell us, again, the inspiration. Did you have to go into any kind of meditation at all, or it just
No,
all flowed
it
when
just-
you wrote?
It came
It was
out.
there.
I could not stop writing. As soon as I would finish one piece, and I would fold my paper up, like I said, I was at work. I would fold it up and I would put it in my pocket.
Little notes.
Yeah, and then I would put my gloves on and I'd start back to work, and then, oh my God,
Yeah.
I'd have to get another piece of paper towel or, pen or something
And take those
and
reminder
write.
notes.
It just kept flowing. I mean, it wouldn't stop.
And I wanted you to restate that because, when we're writing, again, that whole process of writing, which is what I really want everybody to do, sometimes these little helpful hints is just the thing that gets people, motivated
Yeah,
to go there
yeah.
to start writing. And so, but who published your book?
Ex Libris out of New Jersey. And,
Was it difficult in finding a publisher or to get it?
No, it wasn't hard to find them because once I made up my mind to publish the book, which had been a suggestion from Elaine Turner from Slave Haven.
Okay.
And she had asked me about putting the pieces in book form so that they could, sell some, from
There
Slave
on the
Haven.
location. Oh, that was a great little hookup for you then.
Yes,
the whole
so
experience.
I went online and I found Ex Libris.
Our publisher. So we're going to take another break.
Okay.
And we're going to come back. And when we come back, we're going to have Calentine put on her glasses. And she's going to read a few pieces from the book. Okay, so y'all come on back.
Okay. My cousin hooked me up to these. You don't need those prescription glasses. Go to the drugstore.
Walmart, honey.
And get you some.
That's right.
Hey, hold on, y'all. Hold on, y'all.
All right.
me go
So we're
this
going to
way.
come back and she's just going to read. I'm going to have you read two pieces back to back. All right. So just kind of have them pre-selected, the ones you want.
Okay, I'll do the Cotton Field since that's yours.
Yeah.
And then I'll do Eyes. Kellogg's had that on display last year for Black History.
Oh, nice.
Eyes.
Okay. All right. And then if how long are the pieces? Are they?
They're not that long.
Okay, and then we'll do dreams. We'll do 3 of them.
Okay.
We'll do dreams at the very end.
Okay.
Okay. Cotton
up,
fields,
Tiffany.
then Oz, then dreams. Okay.
Okay, let me get the cotton fields.
Okay.
All right. I
So
have
when we
auction
come back, I'll
blocks.
just say, ladies and gentlemen, Callantine Williams Thompson. Okay. And then, yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. And
How do my
you're
glasses
gonna be basically reading to that camera right there.
That one.
Uh-huh.
Okay. All right.
All right, so we're ready.
Let me know when to start.
What are you doing? And left the room? Welcome back. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you Callantine Williams Thompson.
The title of this piece is Cotton Fields. How hot is the fire that burns deep within me, to be able to cast my eyes upon the cool, distant shores of my beloved motherland. How hot is the fire that burns within my soul. It is as hot as the sun that burns my skin and parches my throat, makes it difficult for me to see. For the sweat from my brow runs freely down my black face into my beautiful eyes, down my cheeks, my neck, my chest, and unto the ground where I stand, where I'm forced to work from early morn to late evening. I work with only a dim view of what the future holds. What does it hold? I can't see. For as I bend to pick another handful of cotton, I am again blinded by the hot burning sweat trickling down my face. While I work and pray, my Father in heaven is already preparing to deliver me from bondage, just like Moses and the children of Israel. While the sun burns down upon me and the slave master stands above me with whip in hand, I fall to my knees and cry out from the depths of my soul. But the slave master can't hear me, for my lips do not move. Oh, Father, send Moses back to us. Let him go to the white man and say once again, Pharaoh, let my people go.
All right. Nice, nice. Okay.
This one is eyes. They say the eyes are the mirrors to the soul. Then look into these eyes and tell me what you see. Can you see the heartache, the pain, the disappointment, and the suffering that has taken my joy and scarred my soul, scars so deep that they can never be healed? Look into these eyes, these tormented, tortured eyes, and tell me what you see. Can you see the long ago soul, so full of love, life, and happiness, now slowly but surely dwindling away, lost in a hellish pit of darkness? Look into these eyes, these tear-stained eyes. What do you see? Do you see the many, many tears shed down through the years for the sadness that has been and the sadness yet to come? Look into these eyes and tell me what you see. Don't be afraid, for these are the eyes of humanity.
Nice. I think I'm going to have you come to my class and read some of these pieces too. So
Okay.
we'll talk later.
Okay.
So the last piece is dreams.
Okay.
Yeah.
I should make her read it.
Your daughter?
Yes. Last night, as I lay in my bed, frightened and heavy burdened. I dreamed a dream where I was once free. As free as the birds soaring through the skies, as free as the wind that blows from east to west and north to south. Then the dream changed. I had fallen into the waters of the deep, dark ocean, alone, struggling, fighting for the breath that escaped my lungs, fighting but sinking deeper, for the shackles about my ankles were weighing me down. Then suddenly I woke, not drowning in an ocean, but drowning in the sweat glistening, drenching my trembling body. My pillow soaked, not with the waters of the ocean, but soaked with the tears from my own eyes. Body-wrenching sobs escaped my burning throat into an empty room to be heard only by my own ears. Here I lay in my prison bed, crying tears of hate, tears of frustration, tears of determination, a new determination. No more shall I dream this dream of torture. No longer will I be a prisoner, for while the sun moves across the sky, I will break my shackles and my chains. And before the sun sets, I will have thrown myself into the vast ocean of hatred and despair. And I shall swim and I shall struggle for the freedom that was once mine. And if my body does not make it, then my soul shall.
I think everybody in the studio clapping on that one, girl. Did that one come to you in a dream? Is that how that happened?